you in the Mafia?
Am I in a what?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most influential and groundbreaking television programs throughout history.
I don't get these birds. They're breaking the deal. It's like the pigeons decided to ignore me.
So they're like everyone else.
Number 20, Lost. This was one of the biggest cultural phenomena of the new millennium. With a large ensemble cast and ever-expanding lore, it was ambitious and unafraid to take risks. Centered around a crew of survivors deserted on an island after a plane crash, it was dark from the very beginning.
But if we can't live together, we're gonna die alone.
The continuous and gripping storyline kept viewers hooked for over half a decade that became a mass sensation.
I'm an ordinary man, Jack. Meat and potatoes. I live in the real world. I'm not a big believer in magic. But this place is different.
It was also heavily discussed online, with theories constantly being bandied about. While the finale left many people frustrated and disappointed, there's no doubt that it kept people hooked until the very end. Number 19, South Park. Not every program has to be serious to be important. Irreverent and intentionally provocative, South Park is in a league of its own. The animated show focuses on a group of friends and their shenanigans in their less-than-normal hometown. It quickly became known for tackling current issues and for making fun of everybody in the process.
Hey, do you people mind? You're supposed to wear your mask over your nose? Looks like you're wearing a diaper for your chin. Chin diapers don't help.
The fact that no one is off limits made it accessible to a wider audience. While it's undeniably raunchy, there is also a strong heart that keeps it from becoming too off-putting. It has defined the humor of a generation, with jokes that are still fresh after a quarter century. It opened doors for other mature shows, and helped reshape comedy within the form.
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Dude, I think it might be best for us to never piss Cartman off again. Good call.
Number 18, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. It's hard to imagine now, but at one point, women on TV were primarily portrayed as being married with children. The Mary Tyler Moore Show changed that. Mary Richards was one of the first female characters to be portrayed as having a job while being single, which was unheard of at the time.
Oh no, I think all I can afford is associate producer.
You can start tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's just wonderful. So I'll see you tomorrow.
The fact that she never had to rely on a man was groundbreaking and coincided with the peak of second-wave feminism. The series tackled other real-world issues such as anti-Semitism as well, keeping people invested for several seasons. It was a trailblazing movement wrapped up in an episodic show and helped change the way women were viewed in entertainment. Number 17, The X-Files. While many TV shows are bright and cheery, others are less afraid of showing how dark they could be. Featuring two agents who investigate extraterrestrial creatures and paranormal events, it started out as a cult favorite before exploding in popularity. The X-Files changed the way people perceived conspiracy theories, leading to a wider belief in the unknown. Viewers also intensely shipped the two leads, which kept people even more interested.
You really don't give up, do you? But then you have so much to lose. It's what we have in common.
We have nothing in common.
The X-Files continues to thrive in pop culture, having been parodied and referenced countless times.
Hey guys, what's up?
It has also inspired other modern projects from Supernatural to Gravity Falls. It is one of the defining pieces of the science fiction genre and helped shape it into what it is today. Number 16, The Wire. Helping popularize the notion that TV characters don't have to be picture-perfect or comically evil, this show trusted audiences to accept nuance. The Wire wasn't afraid to show the harsh realities of Baltimore, while also exposing some of the deeper reasons why the city was going through a rough patch.
I see a man without a country. Not hard enough for this right here. And maybe, just maybe, not smart enough for them out there.
Not hard enough.
No offense, but I don't think you ever really were.
Though other crime programs depicted criminals as simply being evil, The Wire showed them as layered, multifaceted people who made both good and bad choices. It was a new concept to many viewers, and the dichotomy kept them hooked. It did not pull a single punch, leading to an intense yet compelling experience. Presenting a fresh perspective on a complicated subject, it was undoubtedly ambitious, but the execution was near flawless.
And what is your occupation?
Occupation?
What exactly do you do for a living, Mr. Little?
I rip and run.
You...
I robs drug dealers.
Number 15, Cheers.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Comfort shows are an underrated gem of the television industry. Light and unapologetically positive, Cheers has become the standard for non-family-oriented sitcoms. The humor, coupled with the fact that the episodes almost always took place in a bar, made it more relatable to adults of all ages. It was a marvel in character development, showing how people across all different social classes and experiences could come together and form friendships. Cheers ended up being so successful that it spawned a couple of spin-offs, including the effortlessly witty Frasier. It was an endearing exploration of how a bar could become a home away from home and help you connect with people who ultimately become your chosen family. Number 14, the Looney Tunes franchise. While they first popped up as theatrical shorts, they're most known for their antics on smaller screens. The premier animated show of the 20th century, it offered an edgier look on talking animals than their Disney counterparts. This show wasn't afraid to show cartoonish violence and crude jokes, creating an experience that both children and adults could enjoy. The slapstick comedy and sardonic humor still hold up to this day. Even after it ended, many of the characters went on to become cultural mainstays.
What's up, Doc?
From spin-offs to merchandise, they've become some of the most prominent cartoon icons. From Bugs Bunny to Tweety Bird, each character has impacted pop culture in their own way, permanently leaving their mark on society.
I thought I tore a pussycat. I did tore a pussycat.
Number 13, The Twilight Zone.
What do you say we get down to business?
This show helped popularize not only cosmic horror, but anthology programming as well. The Twilight Zone was like scary stories in television form, haunting audiences of the early 1960s. While the episodes were often frightful, they usually had an underlying message of a deeper human issue at play. Tackling subjects like mob mentality and paranoia, The Twilight Zone had a way of teaching lessons in the most twisted way possible. Despite being made over half a century ago, many of the episodes still hold up today and are just as creepy as they were when they first aired. While several revivals have been made since then, none has been able to capture the magic of the original.
Sooner or later, will all of us be on the menu?
Number 12, Friends. Perfectly capturing the essence of the 1990s, Friends became one of the most significant shows of the 20th century, despite only coming to fruition at the very end of it. The show focused on a group of friends and their attempts at navigating life and love in New York City. While this was very much an ensemble show, each character was beloved in their own way.
Hey, how you doing?
Their unique personalities, from Chandler's sarcasm to Phoebe's quirkiness, became instantly recognizable. Purely a feel-good experience, it supplied classic sitcom shenanigans with realistic love stories between the group. As a comforting watch to millions of people, it continues to make people laugh almost 20 years after the ending.
Pivot! 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 Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Number 11, All in the Family. While many classic sitcoms sugar-coated their stories, this landmark wasn't afraid to show the cracks in American society. It discussed several important topics that other shows wouldn't dare touch, from racism to menopause. This comedy proved that the format could handle some darkness instead of the usual saccharine storylines. While many of the characters, particularly Archie Bunker, were anything but politically correct, All in the Family became one of the most forward-thinking shows of its time.
Well, you got some opinion of mankind.
I ain't knocking mankind, but people is something else.
Archie, don't you see if everybody felt the way you do?
Everybody does.
I don't.
That's 'cause you're a meathead.
Its unique progressivism even translated into a successful spin-off for The Jeffersons, a program centered around the Bunker's neighbors. Combining comedy and relevance, All in the Family redefined the landscape for years to come. Number 10, Game of Thrones. Based on a popular book series by George R.R. Martin, this series completely turned the fantasy genre on its head.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
While other fantasies focused on the more whimsical aspects of the genre, Game of Thrones showed that it could be just as gritty and dark as the real world. It was a grandiose experience, with immense world building and character development that stretched across seasons. While the pacing was deliberate, it never felt slow or stretched out. Every detail was integral to the plot, and it trusted that its audience would be able to keep up. While it has an undoubtedly contentious ending, it has gone down as one of the most culturally significant shows in modern television.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Number 9. Saturday Night Live. While many of the shows on this list are episodic in nature, shows with other formats have also altered the zeitgeist. Both a variety and sketch show, Saturday Night Live has become one of the most popular productions in American television.
Now look, here's the deal.
Can I respond to that, Chris?
Will you just shut up?
Featuring an ever-revolving cast of comedians, it has captured several vital pop culture moments, from political debates to internet memes. It has always been cutting edge and unafraid to tackle serious issues. It also jump-started the careers of several iconic entertainers, from actors like Adam Sandler to late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon. One of the most long-lasting programs in American broadcast history, each era of the show has defined a generation.
Hello, boy. How are you? Look at your father, boy. Look upon your father with pride.
I see you, man.
Number 8. Doctor Who. It's a risk to constantly have your protagonist portrayed by different actors, but this show pulls it off without a hitch.
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Kasterborous. I'm 903 years old, and I'm the man who's going to save your lives and all 6 billion people on the planet below.
Centered around a time-traveling, universe-saving being, Doctor Who has become synonymous with science fiction. The evolution is unparalleled, showing the immense changes in special effects across the 20th century and into the 21st. The lore is vast and seemingly unending, making for an ambitious experience that satisfies on all levels, and has inspired a vast fan base that is still prevalent today. No matter who's portraying the Doctor, they always have a certain charm about them that unites their diverse characterizations. The lead constantly changing and incorporating new personalities helped keep the concept fresh for over half a century.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor. The definite article, you might say.
Okay. Number 7. Sesame Street. A show being made for children doesn't negate its importance.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yes. Yes!
Using brightly colored puppets and whimsical music, Sesame Street doesn't just teach children, it truly loves them. Determined to teach children to see the world in a brighter way, this has become one of the most positive programs airing today. The use of the Muppets became its calling card, leading to the immense popularization of characters like Elmo and Cookie Monster. The Muppets became so successful among adults that The Muppet Show was created in response, giving older demographics more mature jokes with similar characters. There's no doubt that Sesame Street is one of the most vital TV shows in history, and has continued to influence new generations.
Big Bird, our club is gonna be even better. It'll be a club that includes everybody, and you don't have to change in order to join. It's a club that'll accept you exactly as you are.
Number 6. I Love Lucy. It's hard to overstate how pivotal I Love Lucy was, not just for comedy, but for the television landscape as a whole.
That's nice, dear.
While women were normally expected to play straight men to their husbands, I Love Lucy flipped that concept, allowing Lucy to be silly yet headstrong. The stories were gold, and many have continued to be referenced in contemporary media. It also demonstrated the importance of the ensemble cast, creating a trend that is still popular today. Besides the creative aspects, it's also a technological marvel. The show trailblazed the use of multiple cameras, a practice that would become prevalent for decades to come. It also popularized reruns and became the program that set syndication in motion, changing the industry forever.
Remember that name.
Number 5. The Simpsons. They may be cartoons, but they're one of the most recognizable and well-loved families on television. The Simpsons is the longest-running American animated program, creating trends and characters that are still loved to this day. There have even been several phrases adopted into common vernacular, such as Homer's catchphrase.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
Don't!
All right, I'll send you a check.
The series completely changed the industry, helping popularize animated shows made for adults. It ushered in a tidal wave of cartoon sitcoms, such as Family Guy and King of the Hill, and became one of the pillars of a subgenre. It continues to remain relevant today, keeping its finger on the pulse of culture. With its litany of classic and modern episodes, there's something for everybody to enjoy.
Oh, that Homer, always getting into trouble. And if you're one of the millions who enjoys his adventures, or should I say misadventures, it's time to show your support.
Number 4. MASH. When done right, interjecting humor into serious storylines can take a show from good to superb. MASH managed to find light amid the darkness of the Korean War. It was an instant hit in the United States, showcasing the complexities of war and what it can do to one's psyche. Lasting over a decade on the air, it became one of the defining shows of the country, perfectly capturing the anti-war mindset of the time.
With the friends of my youth, my comrades through thick and thin, and everything in between. I drink to your memories.
Its expertise in incorporating both intense tragedy and lighthearted comedy made it one of the deepest and most affecting shows ever aired.
Well, boys, it would be hard to call what we've been through fun, but I'm sure glad we went through it together.
It was so iconic that its finale episode became one of the most watched scripted broadcasts in history. Number 3. Seinfeld. Among the optimistic and love-filled sitcoms of the 1990s was this sardonic alternative, focusing on an inherently unlikable yet charming group of friends.
Look exactly like Al Pacino. You know, Scent of a Woman? Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
Very good. Very good. You know something? No soup for you!
Seinfeld is unlike any other show that existed before or after it, exhibiting a sense of sarcasm that hasn't been replicated since. The stories weren't as adventurous as those on some other shows, but they were wickedly funny and had a sense of realism that others didn't have. The friends, all being flawed, only made them more loved, and they served as examples of how characters didn't have to be picture perfect to be well written.
So, I'm on 3rd Avenue, minding my own business, and yada yada yada. I get a free massage and a facial.
Wow. What a succinct story.
It was a fresh take on the form, and it was popular with viewers and advertisers alike. Number 2. Breaking Bad. One of the most ambitious shows in history, it challenged viewers' conceptions of good and evil. While Breaking Bad is superficially a show about a meth-dealing kingpin, its deeper messages about the healthcare system and crime in America give it extra layers. The deterioration of Walter's character is breathtaking and tragic, as you see a broken man morph into a dangerous and uncaring drug lord who is at odds with everyone from the DEA to his own family.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
While exciting, it also had moments of genuine emotion that created a multifaceted experience for people everywhere. The show furthered the popularity of non-perfect protagonists in television and became the defining drama of the 2010s.
You're goddamn right.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Sopranos. When discussing iconic television, this show is bound to come up. Focused on a mob leader and his complicated life, The Sopranos became one of the defining touchstones of the new millennium. It popularized the anti-hero, someone the audience couldn't help rooting for despite his horrible deeds. Tony Soprano is one of the most well-developed characters in media, a powerful man who also struggles with his own mind.
Because you don't gotta love me, but you will respect me.
The cinematography remains breathtaking, with powerful shots that are still impactful. The writing is unparalleled and can make you love or hate a character in just 1 second.
That's never been disputed by anybody.
It wasn't just an entertaining show. It helped bring legitimacy to the art form, completely changing people's ideas of what TV could be. Which TV show do you think has been the most influential? Let us know in the comments below.
Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.